Hello, AI expert. We are starting day 3 of our 28 days to AI expert program. And I am excited to share my screen with you and dig into the tool today, the way that we need to be using it. So here we go. What I am doing is I have a document that I am keeping a daily conversation in. I'm labeling it days 1 through whatever, and I'm putting my ideas, and then I'm putting what tool we're going to examine that day. So you remember, we're going to be using the Today framework. I'm going to go over it again in a second. But today's tool is going to be ChatGPT. You can see the start of the daily evaluation down here. Every day it's a tools or tip. Today we're going to focus on ChatGPT as the tool that we're exploring because we're trying to get foundation and structure into the program. So we're going to talk about things like project folders, MyGPTs, chats, threads, master commanders. We're going to talk about AI giving instructions on how to do something. We're going to train it until it knows what we want. And then we are going to share our knowledge base with the software so that it can be used properly. Now, I have a notebook next to me. I hope you do as well. I'm going to be, as I am working in here, I am going to be documenting what I'm doing and asking and basically creating the system as I do it. So let's look at our daily evaluation so that we have our framework in mind. So we have tool or tip. What tool or tip will we use? It's going to be ChatGPT. Now the O factor is going to be after we answer 3 through 6. So does it do what it says it will do? That's really interesting. So we are going to go, I'm going to stop the share and go into ChatGPT so that we can use it to help us. So give me just a moment while I get my screen up, actually. And I will share my screen. And I'm doing this from the viewpoint of you maybe not being super familiar with using tools. So we're going to start with a very basic tool, right? So this is what happens when I come into ChatGPT. It's going to look totally different than yours because it's personalized for me, right? So when I come in, it knows that I have a ChatGPT for me. It's called Strategic Transformation Coach Tina, and it's my GPT with all of my stuff. So if someone wanted to come in and be coached by my AI, this is where they would start. Sometimes I need my own coaching, okay? So I can go to the same place. But what I want to do is really point out how ChatGPT works. So I'm clicking on the ChatGPT icon, and you'll notice this is what you probably see. Now, I do have the paid version of ChatGPT, and so I default to the 4.0 version of ChatGPT. But you notice there's a downward pointing arrow, and we can push it down, and we can see all of the different options, including the more models, and it drops down more. So you might have a different list here than I do, but that's okay. The list you have is the list you have. And you can come in here and put where it says, I learn more about the models. It will open up and it will tell you what the different models are best for. And so you can do your own research on which one makes sense. I know some people are sensitive. There's some information going out that ChatGPT uses a lot of energy, does, and that you may not need the highest level model, which uses the most energy. You can actually be asking it questions in the model that is nicer on the environment. And that may be super important to you and a place that you need to investigate. So I've got some research on that. If you want to know more about it, let me know. That's what this comments and things like that are for. But what I wanted you to do was see the layout. And if you want to know what version of ChatGPT you have, you can come up into the corner, down below here where it's got the, where your name is, In mine, I'm in the plus version. You can click on that and find out when your subscription gets charged, what your next level is, all of those things. Okay. But what in general you're going to see is a screen that looks very similar to mine if you are using ChatGPT. I got to move Zoom around a little bit so I can see everything. And don't worry about the save memory full. It does tell you that what it means whenever you put your cursor over the little I. It doesn't affect that I've seen what I'm doing up to this point. If at some point it does, I'm sure I will find the solution for it. You can just start chatting in here. And this is just a conversation. If someone were to walk in a room and you just started talking, this would just be the general, you ask it anything, but you don't actually know how quality the things are going to get. So just keep that in mind. A chat is a chat. It's a conversation. It can be a topic. When you have a chat with your computer, I'm going to scroll. Yours may not be as full as mine. So I want you to come in here where it says chats. And then it's going to name your chat. I'm sure you know this if you've been in it at all. And it will name it whatever it thinks is a good name for it. You may not like that name, and you can come in here, put the 3 dots, and you can rename it. You can share it with somebody. So the chat could be shared with your husband, your spouse, your business partner, your friend. You can archive them. Now, if you're using a tool, so you notice how this is share, rename, and all of that, but there isn't a move. I'm going to go to like another one. Let's see here. Some of mine might say move. Yes. So it says add to project. If I have asked ChatGPT a question with another chat agent, or like someone shared a link and I used it, it can't be put into a project. And I'm going to talk about projects in a minute, but just if you start to wonder why you can't do certain things, it's because of where you originated the conversation. And so you can only add to projects base root conversations that you've had with your AI. But if you want to rename it, all you do is click on rename, and then it allows you to just type in there whatever you want. Okay. So this one was Chris Moore, social media. Let's just say SM. And then you click off of it and it's there. And it will bring it up to the top because now it sees it as a conversation you just had. Not a big deal. Okay. Now, if this is not a chat that you want to keep, you can just delete them. You can archive them. It doesn't really matter at this point. Sometimes, like if I ask it a cooking question, I don't usually reference them again. That can be deleted. If it's something that it's a project I'm no longer working on and I just want to have a clean area, I could archive it. You can access it back later. But let's go back to what else I have. Now, I can search my chats. If there was a discussion I had about a topic and I'm really excited, I could go in there. If I want to look at the library, wow, all of the images that I've created are pulled in at the library level. Okay. I've never used Codex. Sora is a program. You just saw that little arrow. It takes me out into a different program. So proceed at your own risk if you want to do something like that. Now, GPTs. So ChatGPT, I don't even know what GPT stands for. I should. That'll be part of my taking a note here. GPT. What does that stand for? Maybe somebody needs to know that. I will say that it's an awkward thing to say. And whenever I'm using my notes, I call ChatGPT CG. That's just, I type it in. It's just dumb to put the whole thing out there. I'm only talking to myself most of the time. That's enough for me. But a GPT is a section. So like when I click on this, what you're going to see is these are custom versions of ChatGPT where people have added information and made them more robust and focused than what we see in the general ChatGPT. So you can search for certain things like finance, or like they have across here, writing, productivity, research, analysis, education. You can just shop around here. It's kind of like the App Store. Someone else has put it together. It might be helpful for you. And then they feature the top picks. So Veed is a great video maker. Canva's in here. trending. Someone wrote one on astrology, birth charts, image generators, help you create your content like a human. Whatever it is that you want, you could see in here. So these are ChatGPTs created by the GPT team. So these are ones that are doing, look, let's make a coloring book. Cool. So here's our ones on writing. So you've got all of that in there. But what you're going to notice up at the top here, as you start to create GPTs, you're going to have my GPTs. And when you go in there, it's a library of just the ones that you have created. So the one that my screen opened with was the strategic transformation coach. You'll see it's the very first one I ever created. Now, I am a Kingdom Wealth advisor, so I have a lot of insurance product information, fact sheets, things that I've been trained about. So I took it and I put it all into my ChatGPT. And now, whenever I have a question about Kingdom Wealth, I just go in and ask myself a question, basically, and it has all of the data that I fed it with. I have things about my healthcare. I have things about how I run my life, like what my daily schedule is and my catalogs for RPM, all of that in there. Here's my schedule and routine. Here's everything I did for my 3-day program. I made out all my transcripts. All of my graphics are in there. Everything I need is available. I can make ChatGPTs for other people and they have access to it. Okay. I can practice things. So anything that I want to put in, I put in. And so what I'm going to do right now is I am going to create a my GPT for the project that we're doing. So 28 days to AI expert project. And this is going to say all materials to develop the best AI expert program by Coach Tina in 2025. Okay, now instructions. This is telling AI what I want it to do. And I want it to be a resource for planning my 28-day program, housing the knowledge base of all of my ideas and materials, transcripts from videos I create, and instructions regarding tools that we will be using. I want to be able to ask you to develop all of the content that I will need to help my community members grow their AI skills. Okay, so that's going to be just the beginning. I can always come in and edit this. Now, if I wanted to ask questions, I could. I don't always fill this thing out because I'm going to ask whatever I want anyway, but it's like ideas of questions that someone coming in here could ask. And you'll notice off to the side, it's creating this for me. So it's saying, these are what I've got. I could click on the graphic and make a logo. All of that stuff is available. Now, you'll notice it says knowledge and upload files, recommended model. So what model should they, it says so this is what AI model you want them to be working in. So we're going to leave it at whatever model they prefer, like I was telling you guys earlier, to check which one you want. And this is what it does. So it can go out on the internet and search, or I could check that off and it would only search my database. but I'm going to be asking it to give me instructions. So I'm going to want it to do deeper. Canvas, image generation, and code interpreter. I'm also going to check that in case I ask it to make me build website code or apps or anything. And then data analysis. I want it to be able to really do some market research and things for me when we go to that place. And then create a new action. These are things that I don't necessarily need to work on right now, but like if I'm going to have it go out and get API information, all of that is housed here. Okay, so this is the configuration model for what we're doing. This is the graphic I was telling you about, but what I'm going to do is come in here and I guess we'll do this. Do I want to upload a photo? Yes, I do. So this should now be showing you. I had ChatGPT create this image for me the other day, so this works. And then if we go back to the create, this would be, it could tell us, like you could tell it what you want and it would prepare it for us. But we're going to go over here and we are going to say create. And now it's saying it can only be me that looks at it. Anyone with the link can view it, or the GPT store. So at this point, I'm going to leave it as anyone with the link and I'm going to save it. And those of you that are deciding to go into my VIP program, I will give you access to this as well. But I want to explain, so like right now, I didn't set up the, we will copy this, but I didn't set up the, what am I trying to say? I didn't put the knowledge base in. So I want to show you guys how we're going to do the knowledge base, but I'm not going to go there yet. So I'm making myself a note and then I'll show you how to get in here and edit. Now, speaking of knowledge base, let's go to my Google Doc. So you guys know I'm keeping all of this in a Google Doc. And I'm going to come in under here and I'm going to say notes during AI, during YouTube video. Chat. No, we're going to call it my GPT link for providing to members of the VIP program. And then it now is in there, and that information couldn't be asked. What is the link? When I'm in the knowledge base, I will be able to ask that and we'll get that to work. Okay, so we're going to look at I'm on the page here, so let's go ahead and stay here. The objective. So ChatGPT, CG, as I'm calling it, is a LLM. It's what's known as a large language model. Okay. And it takes all these instructions and goes out and finds information and presents it to us in a conversational manner. Okay. So we need this tool because it's the industry standard. So industry standard base of what is needed to produce AI generated results. Okay, so there are many LLMs. This is the best known one. We are going to explore a couple of others, but for right now, we are going to say that's what it says it does. It generates results for us, content, graphics, systems, organizes things, etc. So is it the best one or have favorable outputs? We are going to do resounding yes. Is it systematic and well-structured? Yes. Again, it's not the industry standard for nothing. It is not, it's free, so it's not cost or budget prohibitive. $20 a month to get the next level is not a problem, especially because that's a month and it will save you at least an hour a month. Use case, you can use it for anything: cooking, personal routines, business, graphics creation. It is amazing. And then time savings for sure. So we're going to put a resounding yes, it is an open system to us. And the score, I'm going to say we're looking at it is a 4.0 out of 4. So 4 yeses. So so we're going to say yes up there as well. So 4 yeses. So we go back up to the O factor. Does it fit for us? Now, actually, after we do all of the other things. So do we want to use it going forward? I'm going to say, yes, this is going to be one of the key items. And I'm just going to say, yes, we will look at alternatives as well. Maybe there will be a better option. We'll keep an open mind. Okay. Now the action. What's next with this information? So we need to know if we can use it the way that we need it. Can I do with CG the types of projects that I want? Okay. And then if so, what outcome can using it provide us with? Well, first off, can it save us time? Does it do things I can't do myself, right? Is it accurate? Can it, am I wanting to use what it produces? Because it doesn't matter if you don't like it, right? So the outcome, any of those things would make me really happy. So let's keep going on here. I'm going to have to end this video very quickly. The time is moving forward. I want to show you again on the ChatGPT just a couple of things, and then I will end for today. So we are going to go out of the project and out of the My GPTs by coming over to the side. Now, a lot of My GPTs are listed here, but not all of them. What I wanted you to notice is that there's a place called projects. So you can add a new project. You can just click there, put the name, create the project, and you can have as many projects as you want, as far as I know. And the projects are folders. So I'm going to go into the 28-day Amplify with AI project. So 28 Days to AI Expert is my program, and I'm teaching you guys 28 days to amplify with AI. So that gives you a little bit of a difference. I can add files into this. It's like its own little mini program. I can add instructions like I did with the ChatGPT just a minute ago with the My GPT. And then these are conversations within the project, and they will reference each other. They will reference the files. They will reference the instructions. And that creates a master conversation within your projects. And if you remember, when I was going over the things here, I said, what we want to do is we want to know about creating threads in our chats. So a thread is an ongoing conversation, but if it goes too long, AI will have memory problems with it, and it could tell you that it can no longer continue. Like it'll start to give you junk. If that happens, then what you want to do is ask it to create a summary file for you, retaining all of the information that is key to keeping the conversation going, and it will produce a document for you. And then you go into the project that you can open another folder, put that in as a file, and start new conversations. So that is known as a master commander that knows everything that you're trying to do throughout the system. So you go to those project folders. So let's go back. And in those folders, you can add in files. You can do different things in there. So I'm going to just go to one that I know I have a file in for time purposes. So the Greatness Show on Worth is my 3-day event. And when I created it, oh, it doesn't show though. Let's go in, like I was telling you, we can go in and edit these things. We should be seeing off to the side here. Let's go back into GPTs. We'll go into my GPTs. And that would, so the one I just showed you would, I could just ask questions too, but I can go here and click the little pencil. And with that pencil, I can come back in and I can go to configure and I can bring in, for instance, I put all of my PowerPoint presentations from the event and I created one document with all of the transcripts from my YouTube videos and then some of the assets that were created during that event. So anybody with this link can go in and ask it questions about the event, including myself. Like I go in often and I'll ask it things like, where did I talk about such and such? And it'll tell me which video, what timestamp. I can either go to the transcript or go to the video then and get what I need. So what we want to do is create a knowledge base. And so now I'm going to ask it for some help on how to do some stuff. And I haven't had a chance to do that yet. That's going to be the asking AI to give instructions on how to do something. But what we're going to do is we are going to, I'm in a Google Doc right now, and I am going to save it, download it as a PDF. And so whenever I do this, I can go in and I can replace the file that I'm using in the ChatGPT, and it will have each day's knowledge to hold. Now, I want to find out from ChatGPT, how do I expand that and make it a dynamic so that like it either uses the URL for my Google Docs. So as I update it, it's automatic. That would be setting up an API. That's something we'll address in later versions of like, as we go through things, setting it up so that it automatically reloads my knowledge base whenever I need to. But the program was here and oops, I want to go into the My GPTs to do it. Go up to, and then I've got to get to my class. My GPTs. Okay, so I'm coming in here. I'm editing here. I'm coming over to the knowledge base, uploading a copy of what I just created. So there it is. And now it has at least the first 3 days plus my ideas that you guys haven't seen yet down below. And now I can ask it questions that are related to that document. I have created a knowledge base that allows me to work within that tool. Now, anything else I want to do, I can just ask ChatGPT, how do I do it? So I'm going to ask it to summarize what I just talked to you guys about. We'll pick that up tomorrow, and or maybe I'll make part 2 of this video for today, depending on how much time I have. So going back to our chart, just to finish it up, is it fit for what we're trying to do? Yes, this tool works for us. And the next step, coming down to the actions, what can I do with the types of projects that I want? Keep using this tool daily. The way that you will get better at ChatGPT is to get in and explore. You can't break anything if you make a project. You can't hurt it. You can use the free version until it tells you you can't. Keep using it. So that's step 1. That's the action I want us to think about. What I'd like you to do is use ChatGPT today. Why don't you make a project and also make a MyGPT if you have that capability, and then tell us what you're doing, like why that GPT is important to you, and we will keep refining it and making it better as we go through our time together. Okay. I hope you liked this video. Don't give up on this AI stuff, you guys. It is masterful what it is capable of.